Overthinking is the place where dreams go to die. When I think of the number of times that I've shut down my ideas, where I thought about something, started scribbling it, came up with a draft, and then just decided on my own that it was not a good enough idea, it's more than I need to count. And I know that if I don't change something about my overthinking, I will live my life, get up one day, and I'm dead, and I haven't done anything about it. And I really think that it's one of the ways that the enemy, the system, however you want to call it, gets to have people who had dreams, people who had goals, people who had ideas, things that were going to change the world. They get thrown out the window. We by ourselves don't realize the power that we have with our thoughts, the minds that God has given us. And so we'll find ourselves in a situation where we have great ideas, but because we don't execute on those ideas, we'll never find out. And one of the reasons why we don't execute on those ideas is because we overthink them. Now, you may be prone to overthinking, like me. It may be a trait that you actually have that could have helped you in the past to overcome a lot of difficulties. But there is a time for overthinking and there is a time for underthinking, right? So you need to know the difference. For example, if you want to eat something, you need to know why you're eating that food. Is it something that has been in the fridge for too long? Should you be checking the expiry date? Is it going to be healthy for you? Do you have allergies? There are moments during the day, during your life, where being able to overthink is actually going to save your life. But take, for instance, using the internet to share your ideas. If you overthink something like that, there's a very high likelihood that you will decide that you shouldn't do it at all. And then you keep convincing yourself that you should never do that you should never jump onto this train to jump online and share your thoughts and teach people and share what you have. And so when you keep doing that, when you keep pushing those ideas away, what will happen is your idea muscle fades away. There's this thing, James Altucher calls it your idea muscle. The idea is that you should practice, you should stretch your idea muscle on a daily basis by writing 10 ideas a day. It's something that I started, I stopped, I wasn't consistent. But the idea there is that if you are consistently generating ideas, you will stumble upon ideas that you could never have come across if you were only focusing on finding the best idea possible by overthinking everything. So if you have a dream, if you have a goal, you have an idea, it doesn't have to be a business. It can be the idea, for example, for me, I want to take care of my health. That's one idea. I could overthink this by trying to get all the books on health, watching all the YouTube videos, watching all the blogs, getting all the things, right, before I take the first step. But no, I got one book, and from that one book, I got ideas that I could start executing on a daily basis. For example, if you watch my previous video, I made it when I just come back from my run. I have changed my diet, I've changed my schedule, I've changed my sleep. I have my Oura ring here that I use to monitor my sleep, and I know when I've had enough sleep or when I need to sleep more. I track my workouts. Like I even have a CGM, which I'll probably make a video to talk about it. But the whole idea here was that I realized that if I keep doing this thing where I think through every single thing, where I try to do preemptive assumption, I think that's what it's called, where you want to imagine the future before taking action in the present. But that's not how it works. The only way, or at least one of the ways, that you build the future is by acting in the present. The past is gone. You can't change it. You can't go back and do anything about it. You can reminisce, you can regret, you can whatever you want. The future is yet unwritten. Can you predict a little bit of it? Yes. If you look at the principles of life, the principles in the Bible, you can look at somebody's previous life and be able to predict where they are going to be. To a certain extent, you can never be 100% sure. So, but in this case, right, if you are someone who consistently does not execute on their ideas because they're overthinking the idea, the likelihood of you ending up in this same position in the future is very high. You are more likely to stay in this same place. But here's the thing. Your life is passing by, opportunities are passing by, the world is changing. Take, for example, we live in a world now where AI is influencing everything, right? I know for sure, and I'm going to make a video about this, the job I currently do, I'm a Salesforce administrator for a nonprofit. So I work with Salesforce, I work in tech. When I see the things that are happening in that industry, I know for certain that in maximum 5 years, and I'm being generous, maximum 5 years, if I am not careful in my own skill acquisition, in my growth, in my being relevant to the organization, they will not need me. So I could overthink that and freak out, or I could start taking steps. Like, okay, based on what I know about the past, and this is like underthinking, based on what I know about the past, based on what I'm seeing in the moment, where could the future be going? And how can I position myself to be able to take advantage of that future? So overthinking can be a great thing. Overthinking can be a wonderful thing if it is used to make and infer decisions in the moment. But you have to speed up between the thought and the action. Navarro Viganto calls it a bias for action. You need to have a bias for action. It's something that I'm building myself. As I'm making these videos and showing up consistently, I am teaching myself that it's something that I can do. Because in the past, I've started, I've stopped, I made one video, I quit for weeks, I give reasons, I explain, I can give very valid reasons why it didn't happen. But it doesn't change the fact that based on past performance, my future can be predicted. So if I don't change my past by acting on my present, my future is certain. So you can do all this, right? God's plan is always going to be the best. Yet you have a role to play in it. I have a role to play in my own life. So we have to do our part for God to do his. Or rather vice versa. He's going to do his anyway. It's just for us to decide want to walk with him or walk on our own. So I hope this nuggets helps you today. Please, if you overthink, if you're somebody who takes too long to make decisions, hey, give yourself some grace, right? Try to take decisions easily. Try to think, see what happens. When you notice that there are not that many decisions that you have to overthink and make, you realize like, bro, life is actually not too bad. I could choose to eat something that I had not planned to eat today and I will not die. The same way you could start learning something new because you had the idea of building some kind of digital asset or whatever it is. So I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, don't overthink, learn to underthink, take decisions in the now based on what you see in the past to be able to prepare for the future. I'll see you in the next one. Continue rebuilding.